wondering why I invited you all here today. Okay, I invited you all here today because we have to make a rather serious announcement. And that announcement is, I want to introduce you to someone who is going to make history. Now let me tell you why I know why he's going to make history. He comes from a family that makes history. His great-grandfather was one of the first, if not the first, African-American on the state legislature. His mom was the first African-American female ever hired by the Omaha Fire Department. His mother also had the dubious distinction of working for me as my treasurer in my first campaign. We're talking about a young man that has energy and enthusiasm and knowledge and skill and the ability to think outside the box and is willing to do what it takes to move our city and our state forward. He is someone who understands what politics is about, but more importantly, he understands the needs of people in the city and the state, and especially the neighborhood where he comes from. He is a man who, when he is elected, let's not say if, let's say when he is elected, we are going to see some amazing things happen, because these millennials, they know more about technology by accident than I do on purpose. Trust me on that. But this young man I've had the opportunity to work with, to talk to understand his passion, to understand his willingness to serve, but more importantly, I understand how he thinks outside the box and is willing to work really hard to get things done. This man is going to make history like others in his family have done. And I am very much supportive of this individual being our next Secretary of State. Y'all need to say it loud, say it proud. Danner, 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 Danner. Because he's going to make a difference. Spencer Danner, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to tell a little bit about my age now, because I played a little basketball with his dad, and I let him beat me a few times. Now we're going to start some stuff, but here's the next Secretary of State coming before you now, Mr. Spencer Danner.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to the Dundee Theater. This is a beautiful facility. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you, Kitchen Table, for providing all your orders. I also want to especially thank Oxide. Oxide, all these nice little stickers and all of our banners and everything was done by Oxide, so I want to thank them as well. Thank you to my team, who has worked extremely hard to get me here. We have a lot of work to do to get across the state. Thank you to my early supporters. Back in November when I really didn't know if I really wanted to do this. They're the ones that told me to stick to it. Thank you to my parents, my children, and my wife for supporting my decision to run. Those of you who are elected or a candidate, you know that you're not going to do anything unless your spouse says it's okay. I might be the king of my household, but she is the head of my household. So I want to make sure that this journey is not possible without all of your support. Thank you, and I love you. I want to take a moment real quick to recognize all of our elected officials and candidates. I think it's important that we support all of our Democratic candidates, no matter what the race is. 2018 is a banner year for us, so we need to make sure that we're supporting all of our candidates. So I want to make sure to say each name by name and what they're going to be doing, because I want to make sure that we are supporting everyone. Let's see. If you did not sign in,
No.
I'll recognize you at the end. Ms. Jennifer Hernandez, Clerk of District Court. Round of applause, please. You get it. I'm in court. Councilman Ben Gray, thank you for being here. Eric Williams for OPPD Board of Directors. I just want to point out, Eric actually had an event tonight, had it rescheduled so he can be here tonight, and I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you very much. State Senator Burke Hart is here. Thank you. PSC Commissioner Crystal Rhodes. Running for Public Service Commission District 3, Mike Forsythe. Running for Central Community College Board, Neil Kiwali. Running for Congress right here in District 2, Kara Eastman. OPS Board District 8, Kimmer Snipe. State Auditor, Jane Skinner. Legislative District 14, Jeff Harris. Did I miss anyone? Please be recognized. Why didn't you sign my paper? Go ahead and stand up, please.
Okay. I'm Olivia Pagano for Learning Community District 3.
We have to show our appreciation for all of our Democratic candidates. Again, 2018 is a year like no other, so we need to make sure to have everyone's support. You know, running for office is a decision that I have not taken lightly, especially as Councilman Gray has said, considering my family's legacy of public service. Those of you who know me know that I often talk about my admiration for my great-grandfather. Former Senator Edward Danner was the only African-American Nebraska senator during the civil rights era in the state. He introduced bills that helped legalize marriage in the state, legalize interracial marriage in the state, gave a voice to unions so they could demand equal pay, paid time off, and medical benefits so they can support their families. He also pushed for fair and equal treatment for all Nebraskans, no matter their race, color, or economic status. My father, Spencer Sr., worked for 2 employers his entire life, Union Pacific and Omaha Public Schools.
All right.
Both of which, like his father and his grandfather before him, rose to union leadership and fought to ensure that hardworking, everyday men and women vocalize their right to unionize. My mother, Linda Brown, was the first African-American female firefighter in the state of Nebraska. First African-American female fire captain in the state, and she pushed for equal treatment of women, people of color, and those from economically disadvantaged areas who just wanted an opportunity to serve their community. About my heroes, because I am striving to continue in their legacy. You know, as a young man, I enlisted in the United States Air Force to be a pararescue specialist because I wanted to jump out of planes to save people, although I was scared of heights. I still wanted to jump out of planes because I knew early on that I wanted to have a lifetime of public service. More recently, I had the honor of serving the city of Omaha as the Director of Human Rights and Relations, a department that my great-grandfather started. I held successful senior leadership positions in regulatory compliance, community reinvestment, economic development, and nonprofit executive leadership. But despite all my personal and professional and my family accomplishments, it hasn't stopped some individuals asking me, why are you wasting your time running for a statewide race? A black man from Omaha running a statewide race in a red state, you don't have a chance. All versions of you can. I'm going to take a moment and tell you about you can. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, my mother was training to be a firefighter. I didn't know much about what firemen do outside of field fires. What I did know is that there was no women firefighters. I didn't understand why my mother wanted to have a man's job. You never heard of a firewoman, so a fireman. So I remember asking my mother, I said, Mom, why do you want a man's job? And she looked me dead in my face. I'm not lying about this. She said, because they told me that I can't. I didn't understand that. I'm like, you're an adult. How's somebody going to tell you that you can't be a firefighter? I remember watching her train every day. Those of you who know firefighters or have firefighters in your family, you know how much work it is to train. Having to put 80, 100 pounds of equipment on your back. I remember sitting at the bottom of a stair, and I'm looking up these stairs, and I'm looking at my mother, and I'm looking at the stairs, and I'm saying, I don't believe she is going to be able to walk up these stairs with all this equipment on. But not only did she walk up those stairs, she ran those stairs every day. Every single day. And in fact, on one of those times, I remember her coming down those stairs, and I could hear her huffing and puffing and said, I have to be faster than every man. I remember that. I know that impacted me as an 8-year-old. I actually understood that. 30 years ago, my mother blazed the trail for women, people of color. She was fearless. An entire community, a community that back in the day used to put your arms around one of their own and put them up as a beacon of hope. Her determination taught me that whatever I decided to do, I must be great. I must be fearless, and I must be better than every man or woman doing the same job. I must represent for people who look like me, who come from where I come from, and pay it forward. But ladies and gentlemen, in order for this ideology to work, the system must work for everyone. I chose to run for Secretary of State because I want to ensure that the balance of power and influence in this state serves all citizens of this state. No matter where they live, no matter what their bank account looks like, or no matter what political party they support or its donors. As a husband and father of 5 great, very distinctive, wonderful children, I want to ensure that my children grow up in a state where government is fair, accessible, and inclusive for all of its citizens. I am running to protect the integrity of our elections, to advance economic development, and to modernize the Secretary of State office. If we truly want to protect the integrity and security of our elections, we must improve our voter registration system. Ideas like this strict voter ID crap keeps us in the past, while modernization moves us forward to secure a future. The Secretary of State, no matter his or her political affiliation, must stand to encourage all legal citizens to exercise their constitutional right to vote and make sure that vote is counted. We must advance economic development by attracting and retaining both talent and business in Nebraska. We need to grow our small business ecosystem and strengthen our agricultural sector. We must improve cultural exchange and target business opportunities both at home and abroad so that Nebraska is competing and continuing to export more goods than we import. Modernizing the Secretary of State office will not be easy. But if we can streamline services, prioritize efficiencies, and invest in technology, we can make this happen today. We must replace our antiquated voting machines. Raise your hand in here if you have had a computer longer than 15 years. Okay. You guys need to get an Apple. Stop. Seriously. No one keeps technology around for 15 years and expect it to work at its optimal pace. We have to replace these machines. and make sure that every vote is being counted correctly and accurately, and make sure that our voter rolls are clean and accurate. We must ensure that we partner with people like Homeland Security to protect us from foreign and domestic cyber interference, because this is real, guys. This is real. Don't let the whole national argument about Russian interference and all this. Hey, domestic people are learning the game too. This is serious. And if we're going to be able to protect the integrity of our elections, we must ensure cybersecurity is important. Nebraskans must have confidence that the leaders they elect stand for something. As Secretary of State, I stand to protect the integrity of our elections, to advance economic development, and to modernize the Secretary of State office. We are all responsible to and for each other, to unite us all in creating a positive impact, not only for this generation, but for future generations as well. We must reach for something greater and make sure we're bringing everybody along with us. Ladies and gentlemen, 2018 is our time. If Virginia, Alabama, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, if all these states can do it, why not Nebraska? Now, don't sleep, though. I am happy that I don't have a Democratic opponent. I'm unopposed. That is fantastic. But let me tell you, do not sleep on May 15th. You still have to vote. The state is not taking our race seriously. They're not taking the Democrats seriously. You still need to vote, no matter what. It's our time, ladies and gentlemen. Let Nebraska know how serious we are. We need to embrace this moment. The Dana for Nebraska campaign is looking to energize Nebraska and energize everyone to get out there and vote and support our future. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Everybody get your Facebook, get all your Twitter. I'm not big on social media, but I'm trying to be. Get out there. Tell everyone. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. Vote for Dana for Nebraska. Vote for me. Vote for us. Vote for Nebraska. Thank you very much for all